Hey everybody, I'm Ethan.
And I'm Bobby.
And today, Bobby, why are you here?
Well, I'm filling in for Jesse this week. Our old pal Jesse isn't feeling up to snuff, so I'm here to take his place.
Awesome. And today we are taking a look at the Exway X1 Max electric longboard.
Next on Now Let's Review.
Before we get started with the review, we just want to let you know that Exway did send us this board for review, but that will not affect our review, and all of our thoughts and opinions about this board will be based purely on our experience with it. The Exway X1 Max is definitely the highest quality longboard that we've tested. The build quality is great, all the parts feel high-end, and overall the board is solid and sturdy. The deck is covered in a protective coating, which seems like it will greatly improve the longevity of the board. The X1 Max is incredibly slim and low profile compared to other boards we have tested, and this is because the batteries and controller are housed within the deck itself. So Bobby, you've seen a lot of these boards as well, I'm sure, because we bring them into the studio. I'm always messing around with them. What do you think of the looks of this one?
Well, this is the first time I'm seeing it, and it looks pretty sweet. I'm really liking the look of it. It's got this cool outline that I'm digging. Yeah, it's a nice looking little board.
Now, something else that gives this board kind of a unique look compared to the others is that the batteries and the controller are actually integrated within the deck. So yeah, you can see with a normal electric longboard like this is the fluid board. You've got the controller here, the battery pack over here, kind of sticking down, makes it much bulkier. Obviously the deck itself is narrower because it is just wood, but I mean, compared to the overall like size, I think that one definitely is more slim and low profile than something like this.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've never seen anything like this before.
The 230 watt-hour battery gives the X1 Max a claimed range of 18.6 miles. I tested the range on a bike path with mostly flat ground, and I only got 14.3 miles out of it with 5% of the battery remaining. Over 14 miles is still a good range, but I wouldn't count on the full claimed range in case you do end up running out of juice 4 miles from where you need to be. The maximum rider weight is 220 pounds, and as with anything, rider weight will affect the range. The board recharges in 5 hours with the standard charger, but an optional fast charger can cut that time down to 1.8 hours. It weighs 17.4 pounds, so bringing it inside or carrying it onto public transit won't be too much of a hassle. The remote for the X1 Max is my favorite remote of any longboard I've tested so far. It's small and compact, has a great shape, and a screen that shows board and remote battery level, speed, and which of the 4 speed modes you're in. The throttle and braking are smooth and linear, and are both controlled by a thumb scroll wheel. So a feature that this board has that not all other longboards have is you can turn the board on or off with the remote. So I'm just gonna hold the power button on the remote turns on, and the board is already on. So board is on, and I can also turn it off with the remote. So I'm gonna turn just the remote off. I'm not gonna touch the power button on the board. Turn it off, and now nothing happens. So that's cool. You don't have to worry about pressing or finding the power button if you just wanna put it down and ride right away. The X1 Max comes in 2 models, one with hub motors and the other with a belt drive setup. Ours has the belt drive, which has 2 756 watt motors driving the back wheels via continental belts. I've never ridden another belt drive board, so this was a new experience for me. The motors offer great power delivery and regen braking, and can bring the board up to a top speed of 28 miles per hour, which is the fastest of any board we've tested. Compared to the hub motors in all the other electric longboards I've ridden, the belt drive setup is very noisy. It makes a whining sound that can be heard even when going fast with lots of wind noise, which isn't going to be the best if you're trying to ride around without alerting people to the fact that your board is electric. Personally, I think I prefer hub motors on electric longboards since they're quieter and less bulky, but there is nothing at all wrong with the drivetrain of this board. So like you had pointed out, this obviously has motors on the outside of the board. This is a belt-driven board, so the motors are external. Basically, I guess the reason for that is so that you can have a different gear ratio and you can get higher top speeds. I don't really know if that's actually the reason. One thing about the belt drive setup is it is very loud compared to longboards that have hub motors in the back. So if I turn this on, for example, I'm just gonna give it some gas, like.
Oh yeah, dude, that'd keep me up at night.
So it makes a lot of noise.
747? Like,
yeah,
what?
seriously, it's
Dude.
like a plane flying over. So compare that to a board like the Fluid board that has hub motors. It still makes some noise, but it's not nearly as loud. Like, that thing is really loud, and you can still hear it while you're riding. Makes a lot of noise. So again, if you're trying to ride places where people might not be happy with electric longboards being around, that's going to draw a lot of attention to it just because of the screeching noise it makes as you're going along. The riding experience with the X1 Max is fantastic. The 85 by 56 millimeter 80A wheels grip very well and glide easily even over some fairly rough pavement. Turning is incredibly smooth and controllable thanks to the 45-degree 8-inch trucks. Of all the boards I've ridden so far, the X1 Max is definitely the smoothest ride all around. The default settings from the factory are great right out of the box, but you can customize the board to your liking with the Exway app. Once you connect to the board, you can tweak all kinds of settings like the acceleration and braking curves, enabling gear changing while riding, enabling cruise control, enabling turbo mode, which increases the power output, and more. I haven't seen this level of customization with a board so far, and the fact that you can set the board this specifically to your liking means that new and experienced riders will be able to get the absolute most out of this board. For the great build quality, super smooth riding experience, and extensive customization that the X1 Max offers, you will need to pay a more premium price than some other boards.
So if you're like me and you're trying to pinch pennies by going out and buying some microwavable Kraft mac and cheese instead of going out to a 5-star restaurant, is this thing affordable? Is this something that the average Bob would buy? So let me just ask you, how much does it cost?
So the list price for this board is $849 US. As of writing and recording this review, it's on sale for $749, so it's definitely a pricey board.
Yeah, but honestly, that's cheaper than I expected.
Yeah,
for the quality that I'm looking at here,
yeah,
I didn't expect it to be under the thousands.
Yeah, this is a very premium feeling board. I definitely think it is worth that price, although, like I've said about every other electric longboard, I think as a category, they're all overpriced. They do need to come down in price a bit. I mean, yeah, $750 is not pocket change for most people. That is a serious investment. However, if you are looking for a high performance, fast, high quality longboard, then the Exway X1 Max here is probably one of your best bets. All right, well, thank you very much for watching our review of the Exway X1 Max. Bobby, thanks for joining me. Thanks for filling in. It's a pleasure to have you. Hopefully we'll have you back on a couple more videos in the future.
Yeah, I enjoy being in here. I enjoy hanging out with you. And I do ride some of these things, so it's, you know, it's nice to be able to kind of talk about them. And yeah, usually it's Jesse, so it's I want to give a thanks to Jesse for letting me fill in for him because this has been really fun.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
If you guys want to see more reviews of electric longboards or electric scooters or electric bikes, hit the subscribe button. We have plenty of videos that we've already done. We have plenty of videos that we're working on right now that are going to be coming out over the next several months and years as we grow this channel into hopefully a bigger enterprise where we can get more high price, high ticket items that we can share with you, like cars and motorcycles and stuff. But if you want to see us grow and you want to be along for the ride, hit the subscribe button, like this video, share it with your friends, and we'll see you next time. Now let's review.